Hello, welcome to the show. It's the Money and Markets show, and I'm Charles Boyd, your host. Now, the year 2024 is just beginning, and there are quite a number of opportunities ahead of us that you can take advantage of as an entrepreneur who is already in business, but then even those that are aspiring to join the business world. And today, we pick the mind of one of the gurus in this space to find out what he has in stock for those that are nursing ambitions of joining the business world.
The Global Entrepreneurship Network is essentially a liaison of different players in different parts of the world, different countries, who organize and come together to work in synchrony to grow entrepreneurship. And you will find the Global Entrepreneurship Network having a Uganda chapter, having an Australian chapter, having a Saudi Arabian chapter, having a South African chapter. So the Global Entrepreneurship Network Uganda chapter is what I chair, and we link into that overall international arrangement. Now, every so often, the Global Entrepreneurship Network organizes a conference which may be hosted in different countries, rotational. And in this case, the next conference is going to be in South Africa in March. And so the Global Entrepreneurship Network Uganda is liaising with the organizers, the overall organizers, our colleagues who are putting together the conference in South Africa in March, for us to be able to present some of the Ugandan entrepreneurs, emerging businesses, to be able to pitch, to compete for financing at that conference. And that's why we organized this pitching event today. Dreaming business and realization of that business. It's very, very, very broad. There's so many things involved, but let's put it this way. The first thing is the innovator has got to realize what value they are bringing on board. They've got to think about it in terms of what problem am I solving? And then the next question is, how am I solving it? If it is to grow into a real business, how that problem is being solved and offering the solution is what will make money. So anybody who wants to get from being an innovator, from being a starter, to being a successful entrepreneur has got to think about it in terms of how will this idea make money? And that's what pitching is about. That you can solve a problem, you know what the problem is, and then you can show how to solve it. That's where the innovation comes in, and how it will make money. So the systems, for example, is it that I'll concentrate on turnover and therefore make a small margin on each item but sell a lot? Or is it that I'll be exclusive and I'm targeting particular clients? Let's use the example of telephony. When everybody says, oh, Africans are poor, they don't have money, and the mobile telephony may not succeed, they were wrong. You may find that it is a solution that is so appreciated that one, it has turnover, and two, people will save up for it. So the entrepreneur has got to think along those lines. Maybe the other thing I should say, especially in our case, it becomes extremely important for the entrepreneur to look at himself or herself as a person in terms of what passion they have, but especially what integrity they hold, what character they have, and be able to persistently go on. There's what we call the personal entrepreneurship competencies. To persist, to go on, to deliver what you promise, to be committed, to be truthful, to be a person of integrity. That becomes key. And then all that will link into how you network with the market, network with the suppliers, network with your clients, and then you can be able to win over people who have got money that they're willing to invest in your business. Making market linkages could mean how do you get clients to buy what you produce? But it could also mean how do you get other already existing marketers or salespeople to buy into your idea? What I would say to an emerging entrepreneur is to say, who is my client? Who do I want to sell to? And then the next question is, how do I get to them? You may find that sometimes you do not need to be the person who carries your product to so and so. No, instead it could be like in the case of today, we're looking a lot at IT and how you get online. And so it might be that you do not need to be there physically, but rather that you can be, say, on social media. You can be with the platform online, and people get to know about it, and you do not have to be distributing physical products physically from one point to another, but rather you get onward sellers, you get retailers who pick up from you, or it might be that you decide that you are going to have your store and you'll ship as and when things have been bought, Amazon, for example. And so when you talk about linking with the market, it depends on what you want to do. Do you want to get to the client directly, or do you have aggregators? Do you have wholesalers? And so the entrepreneur needs to think about it that way. What is the most efficient? Today, people like convenience. They may pay even a little bit more, but instead of having to come and pick up in town, they would rather that you have an arrangement where your border drops them. We are going to drones where medicines could be delivered by aeroplane. And so it depends very, very much on how. So the strategy, you the entrepreneur, you need to develop your marketing strategy and test it out. And you could use a combination of 2 or 3. I know that recently the government has proposed to borrow a certain amount of money to increase the backbone, that reach out of the backbone. I think when you got tele, when you got Wi-Fi, when you got internet reaching to wider places, then we are talking about getting to the point where one can be anywhere and they can be able to transact with anybody anywhere. And so the role of government is, one, that infrastructure to be there. In some places, governments have made Wi-Fi free, like you have a road or a bridge or a ferry. And so government, in that case, has that part to play in terms of the infrastructure. But 2, the necessary laws and policies. You don't wake up tomorrow and say, now you may not use WhatsApp. You don't wake up and say, now you may not use Facebook. The question of allowing for entrepreneurs and innovators to go on and grow without necessarily having to subject them to this or that because of political or personal reasons. And that becomes very, very important for the government. And then the other, which is also key, is the question of rights, of author rights, of artist rights, of copyright, of patent. And so one should say that government should step in and say, we know we are registering patents, and this patent belongs to so-and-so, this patent belongs to so-and-so. And I could also add another one, the question of standards. Standards in terms of physical products, but also standards in terms of soft products, services. Who is a business development services provider? What is our center of excellency to be where we get to be certified for this product? And then we can say, so-and-so is such and such a product. They are indeed certified. I will end on saying that in some countries, when you present your business card, or when you are scanned, when your Q code is scanned, one can see what your company number is. And one can tell whether you've got the National Bureau of Standards Q mark without necessarily having to physically interact with you. And so those are the things that government could come in to enable things to happen better.